Lecture is based on WebGIS. So, what is WebGIS? WebGIS is the combination of the web and GIS. WebGIS allows people the freedom to interact with GIS apps globally and access information almost instantly. So GIS uses web technologies such as URL, HTML, and JavaScript, and many more. And we can see here that Flash and Silverlight are fading. So web technologies have been quickly evolving. I do want to point out this timeline here. So Roger Tomlinson is the father of GIS, and he created the Canada Geographic Information System in 1962. And the growth of the World Wide Web in the early 1990s laid the foundation for WebGIS. And here it states that Tim Berners-Lee is the father of the web. And in 1993, there was the development of the PARC viewer, and PARC stands for Palo Alto Research Center, and the center developed a mapping web page which marked the origin of WebGIS. And in the 2000s, WebGIS evolved into a new generation, and we can see here ArcGIS Online was established in 2009, which was a new generation WebGIS. So there are advantages to WebGIS. There is a global outreach, so you can share your geographic information easily within your organization and with people all over the world. Also, there are a large number of users, and there is a low cost per user. So the cost of building one WebGIS app, for example, is often lower than building a standalone desktop solution and installing it for every user. And also there is a better cross-platform capabilities. So you can run this on desktop and mobile browsers, and you can use WebGIS without a technical background, and it is easy to maintain. And this figure shows that the large number of users can share one WebGIS platform, thus the cost per user is typically lower. And WebGIS unlocks and delivers the science to offices and homes and puts GIS technology in the hands of billions of people. So again, we have our figure here, WebGIS. We have knowledge workers, executive access, public engagement. You can work anywhere, whether it's your desktop or mobile device, and enterprise integration. So WebGIS in practice, so there's many applications for WebGIS. You can use it for architecture, engineering, and construction, also education, natural resources, and also for water. So WebGIS provides immense value to government, business, science, and daily life. Here is an example of how you can use ArcGIS Online. So this was built on ArcGIS Online, and it was a real-time pandemic tracker, and it has become a global reference for the pandemic and one of the most cited resources to track the spread of coronavirus around the world. So this is the COVID-19 dashboard by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. So you can use this data, but this data has retired in 2023, but you can use it if you want to monitor 2023 and before. And there are common patterns of WebGIS use. You can use it for mapping and visualization, data management, field mobility, monitoring, analytics, design and planning, as well as decision and support, and constituent engagement, as well as sharing and collaboration. So this is the basic architecture of WebGIS. So we have a database server, which leads to our GIS server and web server, and then our internet and the client section. So a user can get this data by using a web browser, a desktop, or a mobile device. And configurable apps templates that are available are Experience Builder, Web App Builder, Story Maps, Dashboards, mobile apps, and so on and so forth. So these are the WebGIS deployment patterns. ArcGIS Online is cloud-based and Esri hosted. And ArcGIS Enterprise is on premises. So ArcGIS Align and ArcGIS Enterprise represent the new generation of WebGIS. ArcGIS, ArcGIS Online is based on the Amazon Web Services Cloud and it is managed by Esri. And the ArcGIS Enterprise is a WebGIS software product that organizations can acquire and deploy. So again, here for our deployment patterns, ArcGIS Online is online, as well as hybrid with ArcGIS Enterprise, and ArcGIS Enterprise is on premises or in cloud. So for here, this is the WebGIS, the core of Esri's geospatial cloud. So WebGIS is the core component of Esri's geospatial cloud, which provides ready-to-use contents, apps, and developer tools, and supports mapping and location analytics, and supports geo-enabled systems. So this is a diagram of the new generation WebGIS platform. So we can see here at the center of the new GIS architecture is a portal. And this portal includes ArcGIS Online or Portal for ArcGIS. So this portal represents a gateway for accessing all spatial This portal represents a gateway for accessing all spatial products in an organization. The portal helps to organize and secure and facilitate geographic information products. And we can see at the back end of the portal, this is powered by two components. We have a server and an online content and services. So GIS servers allow you to create content, and an example of online content are ArcGIS Living Atlas of the World. And on the client side that we can see here, users can search, discover, and use the layers, maps, and apps on desktops and web browsers as well as mobile devices anytime, anywhere. So this is the WebGIS information model, and the WebGIS elements include users, groups, items, and metadata. So users with necessary privileges can create and join groups, and users sign in to create and share content items such as a large variety of data web layers, tools, web maps, and web apps. And content items have metadata, and usually what's included in the metadata is title, summary, description, categories, and tags. And metadata is indexed, like we see here with these arrows, so users can search and discover these items more efficiently. And users can keep information to themselves, share with certain groups, or share with their organizations, or share with everyone. So these are the main types of content items. Data can be used to publish web layers, and web layers can be used to create web maps and web scenes. And web maps and scenes, as well as tools, can be used in apps or to create apps, as shown in this figure. And when we're talking about data, we are referencing to CSV or shape files. And for web layers, we are talking about, for example, feature layers. So apps bring WebGIS to life. WebGIS and users directly interact with apps, and ArcGIS organizes these apps into bundles. So these are the many types of bundles. We have Essential Apps Bundle, and this includes ArcGIS Story Maps, Web App Builder, Experience Builder, Dashboards, Configurable Apps, Map Viewer, and Scene Viewer. And we also have other apps such as the Field Apps Bundle if you're going out in the field. Again, for our lab course, we did use one of them, which is ArcGIS Survey 123. And also other examples are the Collector, Workforce, and Quick Capture. So there are user types, privileges, and included apps. Different user types have included access to different app bundles and apps. So for example, you all should have the creator user type, and with this you can edit, create, share content, and do analysis, and this is part of the Office apps bundles. And these are the basic components of a web GIS app. So today's best practices recommend that a GIS app have a base map, operational layers, as well as tools. So for base map layers, base maps provide reference or context, and ArcGIS Online includes a gallery of 2D and 3D base maps, and you can also use your map services as the base maps. So you can create and use your own base maps. Again, for our lab course, we used a lot of different styles of base maps for our tutorials. Here's an example of a 2D base map and a 3D base map. And for operational layers are thematic representations of your data. It can be created or discovered. So you can use existing layers from ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Living Atlas of the World as your operational layers. And these layers span a range of subjects. And you can also create and use your own operational layers. So these are the many types of layers. We have feature layers, which is based on vector data, and vector data includes lines, polygons. And we also have tile layers, map image layer, and many more. And there are tools that perform tasks beyond mapping, and these are the examples of tools. We have routing, geocoding, printing, querying, and summary. And web apps are based on web services. So web service is a program that runs on a web server and exposes programming interfaces for clients to consume over the web. And a GIS service represents a GIS resource such as a layer, map, locator, or toolbox that is located on the server and made available to web clients. So for example, ArcGIS Living Atlas provides collections of ready-to-use GIS services. And again, these are our operational layers. Feature layers include points, lines, and polygons, which is our vector data. And then image layer, this is referring to raster data, which are pixel-based imagery. And for hosted and non-hosted feature layers are the most commonly used layer type for operational layers, like I just mentioned. this refers to vector data, points, lines, and polygons. And for hosted feature layers, this is based on ArcGIS managed data. And this is our data is stored in the ArcGIS Online Cloud database or in the ArcGIS Enterprise Data Store. And for the non-hosted feature layers, this is based on user-managed data, and the data is stored in your organization's own database. So in this figure, this is the paths to building WebGIS applications. Web maps and web scenes are the bridge between layers and apps. So if we're focusing on the left side of the figure, the Data Sources tab, it contains formats that range from simple CSV files like we see here, and it ranges all the way to big data. So this allows you to author GIS data, maps, toolboxes, and scenes in the ArcGIS desktop. And in the middle tier of the figure, you can publish desktop resources to ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise as appropriate web layers and tools. You can also use the layers provided by Living Atlas, and you can add the layers needed to web maps and web scenes and configure the styles and pop-ups in these layers. And on the right side of the figure, which is the client apps tier, this consists of various ready-to-use apps or custom apps. The former can be configured without programming. And geotagged images are an increasingly popular GIS data source. GIS data can have various types of attachments, including photos, videos, audio, PDF reports, and PowerPoint presentations. But out of all of these, photos and videos are the most common. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. Geotagged images have geographic information stored in the image header, often in the exchangeable image file format. And photos are taken by smartphones, drones, aerial, and satellite sensors are geotagged. And lastly, the attachment viewer is an instant app template. And this is good for many scenarios. For example, it can show the world the work your government department, organization, or agency is doing or has done, or it can showcase key attractions of a city or region, or provide a tour of a campus, or create online photo or video journals of a trip or event, or it can inspect the survey photos collected by your mobile GIS apps. So in summary, WebGIS is the combination of the web and GIS. It's a new and promising field extending GIS to newer and broader applications. Esri WebGIS platform provides ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise, supporting the cloud, on-premises, and hybrid deployment patterns, and apps are the face of WebGIS. Different user types, like we learned, like the creator user type, have different privileges and can access different apps. And a web app is typically composed of base maps, such as what we just covered, and the operational layers and tools. So web services are the building blocks of today's WebGIS, and the basic workflow for creating web apps are the data, and then you get your layers to web maps and convert it to your web apps. So again, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please stop by my office hours. We only have 2 weeks left of the semester, so thank you for watching and have a good rest of your week.